couple weeks off, and we are back, and I'm joined by Mitch because the voice is just the blank of Cornhole right now because he doesn't have a voice.
And he doesn't know sign language.
No, he's not good at sign language. It's either that or he's pondering the decision about becoming Lower Canada. Yeah. So we are back here. Took a couple weeks off. I want to thank everybody for all the support the last couple weeks. Last 2.5 weeks been absolutely crazy around here. Finally got to nap this afternoon, but Mitch, you were a big supporter. I know Derek was. All the people, Rob, everyone that helps out with the down and back here, and Donnie as well. But long 2.5 weeks, and then as we were talking off air, another shit didn't stop.
Nope.
Stuff that just kind of kept going. FC, or is that? I guess that's just his Huber's. Can you see his comments?
No. Okay. Where is he?
Good evening, Doug, and his own thing.
We have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, but the thing is, Trevor, you don't come out to Cornhole anymore.
He was there last week. Last week or the week? No, he came out to the fundraiser that we had.
Oh, and he left before I got there.
Right. And it was awesome to see him. Yeah, he had been away. He's been out and about doing stuff with ball and whatnot, and then family stuff and Rangers games. And
I'm talking about balls and ball-headed guys. Derek Barrett, who's been drinking too much, was going to come in the show, but then he asked, "Is this going to be live?" You're too drunk if you're going to ask that question.
Oh, Derek.
Trevor's aiming for Thursday.
Which is awesome.
I won't be there. Is that awesome that I'm not going to be there?
No, not you, him.
Yeah. So I got the work thing. Well, I got the work thing this week, and then leave for Drummondville on Thursday.
Yeah.
That came up quick.
It did.
Yeah. Yes. So I feel like there's been a lot of cornhole going on, but I haven't been able to focus on a lot of it. And it's just people in the chat. We got 10 people watching here. You want to talk about anything? We'll talk about anything. And yeah. So you had there was the Ontario Provincial. I was supposed to be at. Unfortunately, stuff beyond my control prevented me from being there. But and then hello Russ Fisher, hello Mike Dills, hello Kim Pohl. Thank you all for watching. But yeah, some from what I've heard, some great cornhole at that provincial. I tried to watch a little bit of it. But a lot of good things. And Mr. Soto, I'm going to put a segment to you later on. So just kind of hang tight because you were a big supporter of me. But as I've always said, ACL Canada is a trendsetter.
Right.
Across the board. We had something happen at the provincials that I'm going to say has not happened in any state, conference, whatever tournament in the States. Right? On the Sunday in our singles of the 5 divisions, 4 were won by women.
Yep.
One of the women being a junior, and the other 5th division being won by a junior as well. So, it's the not the chalk favorites that come out winning at all in any of the divisions.
No, and the thing is that and we discussed it even then at provincials. Just watching the juniors, every bigger event that we have, whether it's an open, whether it's a provincial, even with some of the regionals, watching these juniors just get better and better and better is absolutely amazing. Because I know when I started 3-4 years ago, you barely saw a junior whatsoever. And now they're amazing, and I can't wait to see what's going to come of them over the next couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've been able to see like some juniors here. Like we had Simon, local KW player, got to see him come up as a junior. He's now has he aged out of juniors now?
Yes.
So got to see him come up. Got to see be able to see Mason Miller. Oh, I almost forgot that name there. Mason, got to be able to see Mason Miller, but now, because he's from, the north coming down, getting to see a lot more of Jude Waterman.
Right.
And Jude has really picked it up.
Oh, he definitely has. And then, yes, with the women, the big conversation I have had over the last couple of events is that there's no easy games anymore.
No.
There's not. Right. And that just goes to show the level of play here in Ontario and Canada across the board. Women and there's, groups of women that have started at certain times that we've all gotten to know each other's play, how we've been, that sort of thing. But when you get on the courts, sometimes you have to do that double take and go, whoa, you just upped the level tenfold. So, the fact that some people think that the women are a joke or that they can't play, it's absolutely wrong.
No, and I've kind of said that kind of along. I've been kind of talking about on the show here is that the women's division is probably the one that's right now our strongest division. We may not have the full numbers there yet, but I still think it's a division where any one of you can win at any time, any tournament.
Oh, right? Without a doubt. So, and that's the thing, like there's not an easy game at all, right? No. And if you can't bring your A game to the court, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Yeah. And the other thing is there's yes, we have a lot of top women players, but there's still some women that have the stigma that they're not good enough. Right? And I'm like, just get on. Like another one is Newfoundland, Doreen Pond.
Yeah.
Like she's always said, like, well, she's not a top player, not a top player. You played down in South Carolina at Worlds on ESPN. Like you're good enough. You can be there, because I remember that first Open in St. John's. I kind of heard the name, hadn't really seen her in person, but I'm seeing she's working up the ladder through the bracket, and it's like, okay, like she's taken out some of the bigger names in Canada here, and it's just it all comes down to that confidence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like I had Doreen actually as I believe it was a swap partner in St. John's last year at the Open. And when she walked up, you do the hi, I'm, how are you? Nice to meet you sort of thing. And she says, are you okay to throw my bags? And I said, yeah, let's give them a whirl. And she said, okay. She says, I'm not, I may not be as good. And I just went, let's just have fun with it. And she threw lights out.
I hate that when people say that, I'm not going to be good, and then they're good because there's me saying I'm not going to be good, and I'm even worse than what I'm not going to be good. So, right? So
I started laughing because at the end of the game, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But there's so many like that it's just, it's because I remember, Val and Oakley started like that there. And then, Derek says Mutter Oakley as well. Yeah. He throws that other name in there to help that out with that. But no, it's they also say, we're not very good. Oh, shit, you are. Right? So it's right. It's
well, it's like last year before St. John's, and I had a number of people say, "Oh, we're going to go to Newfoundland, and it's going to be easy." And I went, "Actually, it's going to be the opposite."
Yep.
Some of the best players in Canada are from Newfoundland.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to have an easy game there either.
Well,
but you're going to have the most fun there.
And right here, Sandra Cable says it won't be long until Mataroku would be a pro. Sandra, you're not too bad yourself. She can throw as well, and it's just a whole confidence thing. Sandra last year and St. John's found out that I am a better dancer than cornhole player, which not saying much, but yeah, it's Michelle. You cannot show that video. I know you have. You're one of the ones that has a video.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
No.
It was a good night.
Oh, very good night, early morning. It was been Jessica Locke. Thank you for telling me the morning after that there was a gangway to walk from the bar to my hotel, and let me walk uphill in the rain. Yeah, that was fun.
Whoops.
Yeah. Sato here in the chat. Unfortunately, as long as I've been playing, women have always been an afterthought. Unfortunately, there are way too many women that could beat anybody at any time, and no one should ever take ladies for granted anymore on the board. Yeah, and he's coming from the land of where some of the best women cornhole players have come.
Yep.
In Ohio, and it's just yes, and then he's saying that he's a better dancer than cornhole player. I think that's about a tie, because we did see you in the breakdancing competition on the Ocho Days, Cito, a couple of years ago. Not bad. But yeah, it's now I think, and that's our other thing is we're going to be going to Quebec, and I think people already know that Quebec's not going to be an easy weekend there. Again, another weekend that I'm glad that I'm just commentating and not playing.
Well, and that's the thing. Like a lot of the crew from Quebec, I got to meet for the first time last year at Nationals, and they're no joke. Absolutely not. No. Like I'm throwing against one guy where I throw a block, and he would just roll it, like it was a feather.
Yep.
Right. So, but again, another crew of fun people, and that's what I think that's what started disappearing from the game as we all locked down and we all went for our goals throughout the season. Some were missing the fun, and I know I started losing it, and that's my goal now, is to bring it back. But that's a big part of the game, is the fun. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why we all started playing.
Yeah. And what I love most about some of the Quebec players is that they're sneaky fun. You don't think that they're about to have fun, but then Carl Menard will throw like a line in there when he's playing alongside Guillaume Tremblay. Because the best is when they're kind of going at each other. Well, not really going at each other, but just they're talking in French. I'm trying to do my best translation, which is nothing. But they're it's a 2-minute conversation, and then at the end, Carl's like, whatever you want. It's like, okay, it's just, and then Carl will, not sorry, Carl, then Guillaume will do some amazing shot and be shocked about it. But it's, I would love to go to just a regional in Quebec and just kind of be there, just to have to see their whole camaraderie. And it's been so much fun, this whole ride with growing the ACL within Canada here.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I know from the Friday in Niagara, I drew one of the Quebec crew as my partner in swap, and Daniel was tons of fun. And of course, his whole crew was sitting on the sidelines cheering us on. But I had a friend there from Connecticut who had come up just to watch the festivities for the weekend. And the last thing he said to me before he left was, that group from Quebec are hilarious, and they can play the game.
Yeah, and it's just it's so much fun. And Kim saying that she hates when you play someone and they won't even talk to you. I think we're seeing more of that with the earbuds coming in. I would like to see our earbuds still in our live feeds, being like our TV broadcast here,
right?
To go away, because that seeing the banter back and forth between players, is the fun part of it as well.
Right.
It's me. But
well, and the thing is that to me, and I've done that where I've gone down to the States, and you get up to your first game and you go, good morning, hi, I'm Michelle. and they go, hello.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, okay. You know, where are you from? Indiana. Okay, good talk. Play ball.
Yeah. And it's just that's. I think that's the thing is. I think that's where we're still young enough, that we're still. I'm not gonna say we're that tainted yet, but we're still not that tainted yet. Where it's just we still have the people who are all about the money and wanting the big payouts for everything here. But I think we're still got enough people here that are just we're still backyard almost,
Right.
But it's
right. And then like Russ is saying ban the bud. So I have worn earbuds playing singles, but typically only one at a time because then I can still speak to my opponent. Right. I don't mind chatter. And if I know them, there's obviously going to be some sort of smack talk and whatnot.
Yep.
But when I'm throwing, then yeah, I need the chatter to stop. I can't talk and throw it. Well, I can, but then I end up shit in the bed, right? Yep. Banning the buds, I get, say on the broadcast court, completely get it. Whether it should be a complete ban, I don't know, because there's times where, either the venue's not playing music,
yep,
or I'm not too keen on the music, so I want to listen to my own thing. My problem has always been, though, is that when I get a good song in my earbud, I want to start dancing, and that's probably not a good thing to do while you're playing.
Okay, you say that, and it just reminds me of something. So, if you're from Drummondville, and let's say you might be in control of the music, I beg you, no 70s power ballads all day on the Sunday. Because there's no need, absolutely no need in this world that we need to hear Joe Cocker sing "You Are So Beautiful" during the singles final.
I forgot about that. Oh, man.
Please change the music. Rant over. That's it.
Yeah. Cito's saying here that you and he dance off to Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, that's... they didn't play that music in St. John's for me to dance to, so yeah.
I'd pay to see it.
It's... we'll see. Kim, church music may have been a touch better than what was. Oh, it was. We were almost asleep. Like I know Wally was falling asleep beside me there. It was just. Well, maybe Scotty. Maybe you'll get the chance to sing it. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe you can come on and sing it.
So at Cito posts, I heard it through the grapevine. If I heard that song while playing, I'd probably start dancing. I gotta admit.
So Wayne's saying, just chimed in. Isn't the banter part of the I'll say it, the mind fuck, and it can be. It can be because there's certain people that I know that I can get in their heads with music. But yeah, it could be that there, and yeah, and I can go back to 2018, 2017, 2018. I think it might have been 2018. Anyway, last year that it was in Cherokee, North Carolina. I was actually throwing good, got into someone's head once he's seen the Canadian flag on my sleeve, and then there was some other stuff that became part of the game that was probably not proper. But yeah, so the banter can be good until it becomes not good. Let's just say.
Well, that. And I think there's a difference. Banter to me is smack talk, right?
Yep.
But there are people that will talk at you, not necessarily bantering or smack talk. They will just start talking at you. And it is to distract you. And they just don't shut up. right?
Yes, Russ. Yes.
Jamie who?
But that is the thing, because there's the whole smack talk is that, okay, the smack talk between each other, but then you get the players who will talk about their shot that they just made and what they should have done as you're throwing your shot as well. I've seen a lot of that on live feed where they take a couple steps back. They're kind of got the hand like, should have went this way, should have went that way. I'm like, as the person's getting ready to throw. That to me can be offside as well. It's once a person's going to make the throw, let them throw, then get that other banter going on as well.
Right, and that's the thing. Like Wayne's saying, but not vicious. Absolutely not vicious. No. Right. No. When I think my first year at KW, I decided to go and throw in Guelph on another night of the week just to get more practice in. And Angela Smiley and I decided to go. And the very first night, her and I had to throw against each other. And the smack talk was so bad that the people at the other end of the court actually thought we were going to duke it out. And it was just because we were talking at each other. Right. Yep. And at the end, they were like, oh, you guys know each other. I was like, yeah, sorry. We do this all the time. Right. Because it's just like we're playing in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found that some of that fun smack talk, especially on league nights, has gone away. Because I can remember, and I'm not going to sound like I'm an OG guy, but the OG KW nights were just, nobody cared. We went out, just threw bags, had fun. Right?
Yep.
Where now we've got some people that are like, hey, I got to be in the A bracket because I've got to win money. I got to. And I've kind of seen this kind of brought up a bit in the cesspool on Facebook of that we have to go and make cornhole our second income on league nights, right? And I'm like, if you need to be a league night hero, hey, more power to you. But league nights, you're paying $10, sometimes $15. Go to a movie for like to be able to spend like from like 6:30 to like 11 for just $10.
Right, and that's the thing. And I think part of it has disappeared because we have so many new people. And I think the fear is that if these new people hear us talk to each other in some of the ways that we do, Trevor, that they're going to get intimidated or scared and they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard where that line is.
Yeah.
Normally for me, especially this past week, Tyler, Swoob and I we were throwing against each other. Both of our partners are fairly new to the game. And I didn't bother smack talking him. I would just look at him. And of course, the other two at the other end would start laughing because they knew what the look on my face meant.
Yep.
But that to me is kind of my way of smack talking, depending on who it is.
Hey, Candy, you can see I've got someone better this week. Yeah, and that was the thing I noticed, and not just because I've seen a lot of old friends I haven't seen in a long time at your fundraiser on Saturday, because a little bit of a stressful day on Saturday, and I was able to go out and have some fun at your fundraiser that you did on Saturday, but it was just a lot of new people just having fun smack talking each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so much fun. Like I seen some people, one guy I've seen a couple of, because I played hockey with him, but now his significant other, hadn't seen her since high school.
Right.
Kind of had some fun back and forth. And then some of the lower division people were like left and there was no one to play. Right. So there was one game where I had to step in like mid game because someone else had stepped in to help out, got called to go to play another game. And I was like, hey, I'll go in and play. And they were like, well, no, you're like a professional. I'm like, no, I'm not a professional at all. Not even close. Right. And then I took my hoodie off and I've got my Gas House Cornhole Worlds jersey on. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a pro at all. And then I turned around and it's got like Corn Dog World Championship 2022, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then me not, just trying to have fun. I throw a 4-bagger, and it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's an anomaly that doesn't usually happen, right? So,
yeah. It happens. Those are usually the moments when it is going to happen.
Yeah, but
right?
It was just a lot of people that had fun. Talking about fun, Dilsey's seen him first. Connor McCormick in the chat. I live to see Rude Rebel Peterborough pictures when Connor places, because the faces he makes in the pictures is just fun. Although he did mess me up the last tournament I seen him at, he shaved.
I know.
I had no idea who he was.
Most of us did not.
So, Connor, little heads up on that next time. Just saying.
Right? Yeah, well, he should have sent the memo out, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Wayne, I am the farthest thing from a sandbagger. Like the farthest. Like if you're gonna call, like the beach would be a concrete slab for me to be a stand. Just saying. Yeah. And Graham comes in with the politically correct comment that have fun, respect your opponent, and compete. Just smack talk is healthy too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But since he's made the comment and we're like almost a half hour in and we still got 24 watching, so going to do a little bit of a contest. But we have to get to a certain point first before we do the contest. So right now I am at 1,450 followers. Not just likes, not subscribers. We're looking at followers right now. So we're at 14, so we need 50 followers. So you need to go, and there's already 1,450 of you. If you can get 50 friends of you 1,450 people to become followers or even more. So we'll give away like this. I don't have it with me, but Michelle has it. She's not wearing it. Don't know why. But a East Coast jersey with the down and back logo in it in the middle here, where Graham's pet Puffin Peter is right now. We'll give, when we get to 1,500, we will do a contest to give away one of those jerseys. If we can get to 1,600, we'll give 2. Graham doesn't know I'm going to do 2, but I'm going to do 2.
Well, he just got the memo now.
Just how I roll, Graham. It's how I roll. But yeah, so if we can get to 1,500, we'll do 1. We can get to 1,600 followers, we'll do 2. And there's no time limit. Whenever that happens, that's what we're going to do. So is get all your friends. If you all got one friend, we'd get up to 2,900 followers. Look at that quick math. Like, I'm not going to be doing that in a couple weeks in Drummondville. But yeah.
No, we're going to be listening to 70s ballads.
And me trying to figure out math and just hoping. And for any of you out there, if you want to come in and step in, I'm going to be solo. We've seen how that turned out in Niagara when the voice left. This voice, not the other voice that's already muted right now, thinking of becoming Lower Canada. But yeah, it's I'll have the extra headset there. Come join me if you want. And yeah, you have some fun. Wayne says he doesn't have friends. They're expensive. That's because you're in Alberta. Just saying. Although, because you're also a yeah, Russ, French is different math. I was going to say, Wayne saying doesn't have friends, they're expensive. It's because he's an Adam Hisner lookalike. He has all the friends.
Kim saying math is hard. It absolutely is hard.
Yeah, it's trying to do microphones, cameras, keep up with the chat. Everything is I suck at multitasking. I can't even talk. I suck at multitasking sometimes. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a good weekend.
It is with my modest little setup that I have. next to Daniel's big setup that he has. Oh, also another little thing for Drummondville. Daniel, when you're tearing your stuff down, and we're in that open finals game, don't unplug my internet like last time. Just saying. You did that last time. A lot of PSAs for Drummondville. Daniel and I had a lot of fun with that. He actually helped me out during the tournament. I had one of my cables go down, and he was right there. Like, he had one for me to use. And Daniel's a great guy. Waiting to see what happens with Montreal, because they are planning some sort of revenge.
Oh, for their missing crown?
Yes. Yeah. So we'll see what that is.
Oh, I can't wait to see what that is.
And thank you for that there, Kim. I tried to do a great job. I tried just to do a mediocre job, and then that makes if I do a good job, then it's like I've excelled.
So you lower the expectation, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like my cornhole game. Not there.
And then you go and throw a 4-pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where the last league night I was at, I was like begging for a 4. Like, I don't think I threw 4 in the whole all night. Separately. During a game. Mr. James Finley. He was up in Sudbury today.
Yeah.
He made the drive he did Tiny Cornhole League last night, and then drove up to Sudbury to go play. Another guy I am looking forward to seeing play in Drummondville as well, because there's who is gonna take out the Quebec players, because they're dominating the pro division right now. Just saying. It's
going to be interesting to watch. That's for sure.
Yep. Will they succumb to the hometown pressure? Because last year, Alfred and Ayers took down the doubles, I think, or the one win the singles, and one of those guys from Calgary won something. It was last year. Okay, James finished second with Dan Guitard, and they lost to Jonah Pavani and Marcus. You know what? Jonah is one to watch. I seen him at the provincial championships last year.
Yep.
And it was a name that kept coming up, and I was watching. I'm like, okay. And then I think he was at nationals as well. He went. I want to say that he did go far in the pro qualifier as well.
No. We lost to Doug. I don't know where he went. I bet, because right before the show, he had said that his computer was going to do a Windows update. And I bet you 10, that's exactly what happened. So for a little bit, you guys are stuck with me.
I'm back!
There he is!
All of a sudden, it comes like, something went wrong. It's like, and I told you before, I'm like, I feel like there's something going to go wrong.
And I just finished saying that. I'm like, I bet you his laptop decided to do like a Windows update.
No, it was just a StreamYard just shut down, and I was like, are you kidding me? like it all of a sudden became like it was like 100 degrees in here. I'm like all of a sudden just wow. I just you have that feeling like something bad is going to happen.
Yes. Connor said Daniel probably unplugged your camera.
He did. It was Daniel. I'm stealing the crown this time, Daniel. It's going to be me. Maybe it was me the first time and someone else just took credit for it.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yes. Okay. So back to what James was talking about.
Jonah.
So Jonah won singles up there as well. So yeah, he is like Jonah. If he gets in, if he doesn't qualify and he can get into the pro qualifier, I'm going to call him to be one of the ones around at the end. If he doesn't get it, I will be unhappy, but I think he will be one of the ones to come around, because he's just gotten better each and every tournament I've seen him play at. So, yeah. which I think they are, for Ontario. Southern Ontario kind of really was really the top. Started to go into the western part of the eastern part of the province first, then the west. The Windsor guys really took over. I'm thinking the guys from the north are really going to be the next ones for Ontario to really take over.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's going to be fun to watch.
Yep. Well, and I think that's what makes each season an adventure, in the sense that, you start off the season and you could see people from one area coming out of the gate, right? And then all of a sudden, within the next couple of bigger events, nope, it's not that area anymore. It's somewhere else, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, because we're what? We're 4 months into the season.
Yep.
Right? We're almost at the halfway point.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the season ends and who ends up on top.
Well, for sure, and that's I mean, what you kind of alluded to there is my big thing right now is whenever I go to big events, there's always new names that I'm learning about. Some people I may have heard about before, but I'm getting to see in person, or or a new name that I'm just finding out for, right? And it's just that's what I love seeing, because that's how I know that our game is growing. I can say that because the other person that usually sits to my right or left here doesn't like growing the game. But that's the fun part of it, is just getting to see so many new players that are coming in and just and loving the game, that just want to play. Right?
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing. At the beginning of every season, you get, I don't know about other leagues, I know with our league, you get this influx of players at the beginning of, say, October, November-ish, right? And I kind of chalk it up to, the beginning of the year when a gym gets all these new memberships.
Yep.
Because everyone's got this New Year's resolution about losing weight and getting healthy. And within a couple of weeks, they go, nope, this isn't for me. So their membership goes down again. And that's kind of how I've noticed it the last couple of seasons, is you get this influx. Once the trailer parks are closed, once the ball season's done, you get an influx of players who want to do something during the winter months. But then you get some that go, oh, wait, no, this is too competitive for me. Like, I just want to drink and maybe throw a bag on a board. Mm-hmm. And you might see them a couple times and then never again. But then you do get those players from those groups that get that competitive streak and they just stick with it, right? Yep. So,
and that's where I think, for speaking of our league with KW, is where Matt does do it really good, because he will split it up into those 3 divisions, right? And the people in the bottom of it they're just, I can say, we're just there for fun, right? It's and that's what it is, and it's I would much, no offense to some of those people, I'd much rather play down in those lower divisions, because I someone will go and see me if I'm wearing my down and back jersey, or if I'm wearing a jersey, or if I'm wearing a World's jersey. They'll be like, oh, they'll be apologizing. I'm like, here's the deal. I don't care. I just want to throw bags. I just want to have fun. I want to, not saying this in a negative way, but just all of, when I go to an open, I go to some of the big events where I'm doing the broadcasting, that's work. That feels like work. It feels like a business. It feels like there's more pressure. Sometimes not fun, because you got to deal with stuff. I want to just have fun and throw bags. I don't care if we win or lose. I paid $10. Who cares?
And that's the thing. Like, I remember when I first started with KW, and I was just a backyard player. And after the first couple of weeks, I was having a great time, but I was also getting tired of getting my ass handed to me. So I spent, I think it was like a 4-hour stretch one night doing nothing but throwing bags and watching YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff. And the following week, it was actually Trevor. He looked at me, he's like, where did you come from? And I'm like, I'm literally the product of you a-holes now.
Well, and that's still, and Connor, I'm going to get to your comment in a minute. That's what you guys, I remember you guys started coming out when we were still just coming out of COVID.
Yep.
We were still throwing in the parking lot at the kitchen auditorium.
Yep.
And which I got a funny story about that. But still, we were throwing in the kitchen auditorium, just out in the parking lot, and it was just fun. We all just sat in lawn chairs, and we're just having fun. And yeah, and we had the cops show up the one time, and it was just fun because when go back to the story about the cops showing up, it was kind of funny because we're all playing cornhole, and when you play cornhole, what do? You all drink.
You have a bevy. Right?
So we're all sitting there, and everyone's having a beer, and all of a sudden, I see it from a distance, but you see the cop car pull in, right? And it kind of does a slow coming up, and then it kind of comes into where we're playing cornhole. And as soon as it comes into where we're playing cornhole, everybody's diving left, right, and center, throwing their beers everywhere. I turn around, and I looked at the cop, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" He's like, "I've seen people playing cornhole, so I just thought you would be here, so I just come to say hi." So he was like, "What?" And even he said to me, "Why is everyone like hiding their beers? They're playing cornhole. You drink beer when you play cornhole." So it's it was just that was my one memory. I didn't win anything. That was my one memory, other than having all of you guys show up and have a lot of great new players and great new friends that I created with that there. But coming out of the COVID, where we kind of had the big boom, I guess you could say, with all the players. But with Connor's comment that he hates when his partner apologizes before the game even starts. For me, when I'm talking about this here, we're down in the third tier. Like, I'm with all the people that have got like the 2 and the 3 and the 1.5 PPRs for the night. They're brand new. It's like their first night. They're having fun. They're laughing, saying, "I'm going to suck." And I'm like, "I'm going to suck worse, but who cares?" Right? And it's just, it's those new players, and it's those players that we have to make feel welcome coming out, because without new players, at some point, we're not going to have a game.
Well, and that's the thing. And I'll admit, Connor, I have been known once or twice or many times to look at my partner and go, "You know what? I'm really sorry." And I typically will say that if I already know that I'm having a bad night and I'm not throwing my best, right? But it also depends on who my partner is. And I say that because if it's Annette or Kylie or whoever that is within our circle, I know that we're just going to laugh about it.
Yep.
But I also know that there's those players that have mini temper tantrums, throw their hats against the wall, kick a garbage can, do whatever, because, they're not winning. They're not getting that win.
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna come back to that in a second, but the King has spoken. King Vandendam has spoken.
He has.
I went to a brand new league last night. So much fun with watching new players laughing and having a great time. Says the guy who's only been playing for like 6 months, King.
And that's, right? But that's the way the game is supposed to be.
Yes, it is. So I'm not sure if I sent you the video. I was sent the video yesterday. I'm not sure if any of you have seen it. From over in Europe. And I don't want to, again, paint anything in a negative light, right? But there was a player threw a bag off, and I was like, I feel your pain. I know what that's like. But when the bag went off, he does the throw on the ground forcefully. Bag splits open.
Oh.
So he only threw 3 bags that round. Now, I know there was a lot of people making comments in that there, and all of that, but they do get to change out bags. They do get to put a new bag. Thank you, Sato. I'm going to have you on with another special show, because I do want to spotlight you coming up because of how you are. But you've been there since the start. You've been there since Cherokee with me.
I've never met him, but all I've ever heard is awesome things about the man.
Old school Converse high tops. That's all I remember about him. The canvas high tops. I think he's got like one in every color with like multiple colors. I think he's got like 83,000 pairs of them. And it's just, yeah.
So he's the Imelda Marcos of Converse high tops, is what you're saying.
Yes, Tato is. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He is a fantastic guy. But yeah, we're gonna have. Was there no, Mike? There wasn't Coke in that bag. I'm not sure what bag. I was told that it may have been a lucky bag. I think it could have been an unlucky bag. But yeah, it's yeah. So like there, like that's the first I had seen of it in a competition where a bag, someone gets that like on a live feed of all things for it to happen. So Mikey, we're not going there. No.
And that's I think the big thing, and especially with the amount of newer players that we're getting, is the amount of people, and I noticed it more and more, the amount of people that have these many temper tantrums on the court. They throw their hat, they kick something, they're cursing and swearing. Now granted, we all curse and swear, but they're being aggressive and they're being angry about it. Yeah. That's going to affect your opponent and or your partner if you're playing doubles. B, that's going to affect everybody within your vicinity. And C, that's going to deter people from playing who are new.
Yep.
Like, why?
My other thing is when I see, and I try to talk to newer players when they do get frustrated, because they see some other people who've maybe been playing for a while make it look so effortlessly easy. And it's like, here's the deal. And I kind of equate it to me with work, because people may think that, like I say, I drive and I service at work. People think it's going to be easy, especially the new people that come in. And I kind of tell them right off the bat is, I have no idea why. I was told this. It then became real, but you were going to suck at your job for 3 years. And then all of a sudden, that third year, after that third year, something's going to click. And all of a sudden, it's going to be like, this is easy. You have to work at it. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be awesome right away, no matter how much other people look. And if you see a top player throwing a certain bag, you are not going to throw that way if you throw that same bag. You have to be Goldilocks. You have to try every bag. That's just the fact of life. You're not going to be good right away, and it's not an easy sport. Although it looks easy, it is not an easy sport.
And that's the thing. We had some new players on Thursday night, and I had to throw against one of them. Oh. And the guy, the game was over in 3 ends, and he looked at me and he went, what bags are you throwing? Like, what should I buy? And I told him what I tell any new player: buy a slower bag until you know and get your throw down and know how to control the bag and where you want it to go. And even then, I said to him, because there's consistency. And I said, yes. And when you find the consistency, let me know how you found it, because I've still yet to find the consistency, right?
Nope.
But I said to him, start with a slower bag and then work your way from there and try all the different bags you see. Ask somebody, can I borrow your bags for a second? Just to see. That way, you don't have to go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to try bags. There's always people at events that are willing to loan you their bags, right? Typically, anyway, I haven't found one that said no, just to try them out and see how they go.
Yep.
So
it's like it's if anything, you're not, there's going to be something out there for you to use. And yeah, James Finley comes up with an even better reason why to use other people's bags. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Not that any of the sponsors of any shows or anything really want us to say that, but yeah, it's cheaper.
But it's funny because when I did do the Battle of the Queens, there was a co-ed blind draw on the Friday night, and the gentleman I got partnered up with after the first game, he said, I'm really sorry. I was having a hard time figuring out your bags. And I said, no problem, grab yours and we can throw yours. And he looked at me and he went, I didn't bring any. Okay, well, I guess we got to figure out mine then.
And that's me on a league night. I don't bring bags. We'll throw what you're throwing, because I know for myself and Robbie Graham, personal hero of mine, because in Cherokee, that first morning, I went into a sit and go with him, and after me only throwing slide right bags for a year, he gives me a set of Reynolds Pro Advantage. I couldn't keep him on the board. Like, I had to keep I was that guy, again, because it's the story of my life. I had to keep apologizing for how bad I played. And he was like, you know what? I don't care. I played with someone from outside of the U.S. I don't care. Like, he's been, I haven't had a chance to catch up with him in a while, but it's try different bags, and it's scary sometimes, but sometimes it's okay.
Well, and for some people, it doesn't matter on the bag.
Yep.
Right? That they're the people that constantly throw what I call Harry Potter.
Yep.
Because the bag lands on the board and it kind of does its own thing, and you don't even know how that happened.
Yeah, and King here saying, he tells new players, forget about the hole, concentrate on getting on the board.
Yep.
And that's what I tell new players all the time is, don't worry about trying to throw an airmail or trying to slide it into the hole, landing a couple inches in front of the hole. Is that when there's a logo on the board, that's not there just, it is there because the sponsor bought it, but that position on the board, aim for that position, let the bag do the work. Because if you can aim it there, that will get you'll be able to slide up enough to get in the hole. And that's just kind of my thing. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. It's good to be back. I have to say that Saturday nights, although I was elsewhere, just didn't feel the same. And it's okay. And then Wayne's saying, should a pro use the lesser player's bag?
I think it's a 50-50 on this one, right? Because I don't have a problem using anybody else's bags, right? If somebody says to me, oh, you throw fast bags, I'm not used to fast bags, or I'm newer at this game, is it okay if we use my bags? They're a slower bag. Of course. I'm not going to have an issue with using somebody's bags.
Yeah.
Some would.
Yeah.
But I can't speak for others. I know for myself that I don't have a problem doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've even had people on league nights in KW that have come in and said, like, I've just been like totally crapping on a bag, and I'm like, dude, it's a Thursday night and we're playing in tier 3. It ain't the bag. I know, because for me, it ain't the bag either. It's yeah.
Well, and Connor's absolutely right. They should be able to adapt easier. It's just like you should be able to adapt easier to somebody else's bags. You should be able to adapt to the board conditions, right? Not always easy, but we should be able to have them roughly figured out. Way easier than a newer player should be able to try and figure it out.
Yeah, and that's you're a pro for a reason. Now there may be some pros that will say absolutely not. We're going to throw my bags, just because that might be in their contract with a certain company or whatever that says that they can only throw their one bag, and
right.
I'm going to say that that's almost nil for that being in a contract, because every company knows that at some point they're going to throw a different bag.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, what if you get 2 players that are sponsored that throw completely different bags? It's not like you can go, okay, well, I'll grab 2 of yours and you grab 2 of mine.
Yeah.
And we'll just mix and match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't quite work like that.
Yeah. Paul's going right. It's and that's what I usually do as well. Not a pro, is letting that, especially if it's a new player, letting them feel as comfortable as they can.
Yep.
Right? Because if they feel comfortable, they're going to want to come back. Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, everyone's pretty much of the same consensus, We want our partners to throw their best game.
Okay. ACL Pro, Mike Hoffman. Nope. Defer to the other player. There you go. Like, ask a question, and a pro's going to come in and talk about it. Which, Mike, if you're talking to pitcher, I messaged him. I want to know how he's doing. Let's see. Connor's saying that Dave Dean catered to his ass all last year when using faster bags, even though he throws a missile. True great player. Yeah, Dave Dean's another guy. He's pro material. Andrew Spencer says he'll throw anyone's bags, but he generally bring mine on the board just because I'll be damned if my partner shows up with no bags and I gotta walk. Yeah, it's because you're lazy.
Yeah, hey, I gotta agree with Andrew too. I do the exact same thing.
Well, see, here's what I do is I get to the board first without bags and holler to my partner and saying, hey, if you got bags, bring them.
Yeah, we've all done that. But if you're at a blind draw or a swap at an open, the last thing you want to do is walk all the way to the other side to go get your bags.
Well, usually the places, if it's league night, they're not that. Spencer, I see where you guys play. Okay, good. That's good, Mike, because pitcher is still one of my most favorite guys. He's the only guy that I allowed to. I'm trying to think of the word. Like I always told Trey Ryder that if he come on, I was not going to blindside him. I let pitcher blindside him the one time, so it's yeah, and it was fun. But yeah, it's there's. I lost what I was going to say. It's been a while.
We were talking about bags and partners and pros.
It's just people that like you're saying, with bags. If you're going to talk to people and you're at a big event, talk to a pro. They will be happy to give you all the time in the world. Usually, I know if you're at an event, Michael Hoffman will talk to you because as we were talking with Timothy Pitcher, he did the same with me. Like I said, there's 2 people I really, really remember from Cherokee, my first big national, being Sato. And if anyone is old school and been to Cherokee, outside the ballroom, there was the balcony. I remember the one time I was out there, all of a sudden this guy comes out there and it's just him and I out there. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Timothy Pitcher. One of the biggest names in cornhole. And I was like, cool. So I kind of said hi to him and he was like asking me where I'm from. And all of a sudden it went from we're not talking all about me, him saying that. I just want to know about you and how things are in Canada. And it just turned into like a 45-minute conversation out on that balcony. And it was just meant the world to me. And he's been a friend since. So
nice.
Yeah, it's go out and talk to those big names, because just because they got a big name does not mean they have a big ego at all. But yeah. Mark has got a question from the YouTube side, because Mark's a guy that I am. If I could, I would stop in Belleville on the way and take him to Drummondville with me, because Mark's the guy I want to get to a big event here in Ontario or somewhere, because he's a player that thinks he isn't good, but he is very good. Because he's just started off. He's the roadie to my cousin Ben for his show. For any of his gigs, he does music. Mark is his roadie. which Mark doesn't get paid enough. I think Mark should be doubled in pay. But that's just saying that because Ben's cheap. And I can say that because Ben's not on here right now and he can't rebut that. But so Mark, so with the ACL now we have the stamp.
yeah, right there.
Trying to work because we made the easily rotator on this year. So we have a stamp that only lasts a certain amount of time. So you got 2 years, I believe it is, Michelle?
3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
So yeah, so you have 3 years. There's a date on there. You look at that date. If it's 3 years, if that year is 3 years past what we are now, you can't use those bags in ACL events, but you can use them in backyards, whatever you want. Andrew's saying he only tries to throw 2 sets per season, one fast, one slow. Let's not count the season because he's probably up to 35.
So,
but no.
So I have 4 sets for 2025.
I have 0 sets of 2025. I have probably a lot that are. Oh, that's a 2023. Can't show it because I'm not going to use it anywhere. But
yeah, no, I have, and you know, I'm lucky in the sense that my husband doesn't gripe at me when I end up coming home with another set of bags. I have my original 3 sets for 2025 are fast, like kind of middle ground, and then slower. I got another set of my faster bags because I didn't want to run into a similar situation like we ran into in Newmarket last year, where it was so humid that the bags by noon were damp, and I didn't have another fast set with me that I could change out. So this way, you know, if I run into it, and quite frankly, because mine are bright, bold colors, if I want to switch up the colors halfway through the day, I will. Mm-hmm. Right? Because they're the exact same bag, just different patterns.
Yep. Like I say, like Mark is still new to the game. He's actually, if you remember last year, if you're looking on the 401, going past Belleville on Google Earth, you will see him and cousin Ben playing cornhole in Ben's front yard on Google Earth. We're getting some hockey, but Wayne, I love you. You make me so happy. But yeah. With the Leafs losing, that's yeah. But yeah, it's usually people go through a couple sets of the season because people get addicted to buying bags. They'll see bags and they want to buy more, and it's.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And if you don't need to buy new bags, then don't.
Yeah. So Mark, yeah, people will tend to bring that many sets just because you have a couple fast sets, you'll have a couple slow sets, just in case there's a color discrepancy with, you know, if you have the same color bags as the other player, especially when there's a live feed person, they get upset when they have to try and distinguish between 2 people throwing red bags.
Right.
Not fun.
No.
Not saying I'm experienced. I'm just saying.
No, and that's the thing. It isn't fun. Or when you get somebody with, say, a different brand, but the coloring is kind of the same, but you don't notice it until you've already thrown it and it's at the other end.
Andrew, I thought we weren't going to talk about that because TJ's wife only thinks he has 3.
So, but I actually answer Mark's question. I don't think a lot of people actually take 3 or 4 sets. I think it's just I would say more of the advanced open players probably do more than the intermediate and competitive.
Yeah. Like, so see, even for me, I have a couple more sets on the way, I think, of new bags. But right now I have I think I may have 6 sets in the house here. But I'm not one that needs a whole bunch of sets either, right? I'll take of these here bags. I'll probably take 3 of those sets up to the camper this summer. But yeah.
But and that's the thing. Like I have all of my. And you're very welcome, Mark. I have all of my 2024 bags that I can't use them in my pro events, and I don't see the point of using them in my other events because I don't want to take a gazillion sets with me, and I don't want to keep switching them up. But they all have my name on the back of them. So of course, Sam says, well, can you sell them? And I went, yeah, but then it'd be really weird walking up next to somebody with my name on the back of their bag.
Well, you're a pro, right? It's.
So yeah, I've acquired a lot of bags on my shelf.
TJ just sold a set, so he's down to 2.
He's down to 2 or 126.
2. We're gonna go with 2.
Okay.
Yep. So
but then you also get those players that buy, say, the top bag or the in bag for whatever, thinking that's going to make them a better player, and you and I both know that's incorrect.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah,
and that's the thing. And we've known plenty of people that just keep buying those bags at a hefty price point, and I chalk it up to the same way that I did in paintball. It's the type of person that goes out and buys the top of the line marker, the paintball gun, and thinks that's going to make them a better player, and that's not the case.
Yep. Like I said, you and me both, James.
It was sharp. Oh, James.
Well, yeah, it's and that thing, and like you say, people go and buy like the in bag, and throughout the season, there's like 8 to 10 in bags. It seems like whenever someone wins a big event, that becomes the go-to bag.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, I think the last time I actually went down to the paintball field in Pennsylvania, one of the guys there that I know, he pulls up and he pulls out these brand new boards and brand new bags, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever played cornhole before?" And I went, "No, I haven't." And we're just kind of smack talking each other, and I looked down and they're brand new Vipers. And I looked at him and I went, "Do I want to know how much you paid for these?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know. The guy told me they were the best, so I bought them."
Yep. I'm just seeing Mark make a comment on the YouTube side. Mark says, the set of bags I helped Ben get are phenomenal bags. Okay. So for all you OG people out there, the bags that Mark is using with Ben are a set of 2018 all cornhole slide right bags.
Wow.
OG bags for sure. Ones you can't get anymore. Ben's other bags are the ones that are, I think, pretty sought after now. They are a set of the Eddie Van Halen tribute bags, the Octane Apex bags. So those are the ones that he doesn't throw. They're off, but I know a lot of people are, because there wasn't many made of them. The Eddie Van Halen bags, but yeah, it's these ones here aren't King Tire. They're the ones that I think I won them. Yeah. Yes, Michael, they were those OG. They were cheater because when they first came out, that like suede side, like I miss those bags. Like those are my favorite. The suede and the like I put out the video the other day from the OG first tournament in Canada. One of the first corn dogs thrown on video. Anyway, but just watching those, the duck cloth and suede and like just like glue, like hit the board on the brakes, like Jekyll and Slide, way before Jekyll and Slide.
Yep. Finley, you can't cheat when they hit the front of the board.
But it makes the other guy laugh, and then I can, because if you watch when I did that, the other guy missed his next shot. Just saying. But yeah, the OG slide rights, nothing better than those there. Like I remember, there may be some OG people here, but that 2018 tournament when I first, because we went down, all we knew was slide rights. So there was like I got to see the Reynolds Pro Advantage, the Ruby bags. Michael, how about, remember the Ruby bags? Like Ruby made them, hand stitched them all herself. There was those bags. The Boardman guys had a booth there selling bags. There was so many great bags that have now gone by the wayside that have just, feel like one of those old guys, like, like remember way back when we had this here? Yeah, they're all gone, but it's yeah, there was a lot of great bags that we used to use. It was a lot of fun. Back when cornhole was fun. Now it's just work. Yeah.
Well, let's bring the fun back.
Well, we try to every Saturday night here.
We do.
We talk about how much I suck and everything, but yeah. So we've went over an hour. Like it's someone around here, around the KW area, I'm not sure if Matt still has them. There is a set of Ruby bags around here somewhere.
Wasn't it Trevor?
No, Trevor's got the Matty King OG Razor bags.
Oh, that's right.
That Matty said, like, oh, everyone's like trying to get those there. Like they're like a collector's thing. People are like, oh, and Trevor's like, oh yeah, I throw them at the cottage in the dirt. Okay. But yeah, it's there's so many, like that was such a great time back in Cherokee. I would like, it's just could go back there with that because it was one that got to meet a lot of new people, got to really kind of get indoctrinated into the cornhole world. Got to and I've got his number. I've got to call him. We've got to do a Madden time on here. If anyone's been in any of the big events in the States, especially Worlds out there, they know what Madden time is. Little guy, we all went in first night after they were setting up. We got to the hotel. We walked over to the venue. Everyone was there playing. And if anyone knows Madden from any of the big events, just a little guy. We all come in being the best players in Canada. We're the only players in Canada. Walked in, we're like, we can, look at this little guy thrown over in the corner. We can go and kick his ass. And then I think the 6 of us probably scored about 5 points in about 18 games on him. And he was just like, we're like, how are you? You're like a little guy. Like, yeah. He was just like, next. It's like, okay, yeah. And we're all like little some of them. We just go in a circle, just playing him. And I was like, yeah, yeah. But Wayne's going with the Bills Mafia thing, hanging out. Hubbard's here. He's a big Bills guy. But yeah. But yeah, so we've been over the hour 15, which is good for a first week back. We will be back. Will I be back next week? Won't be back next week. I'm going to take since I'm back 1 week. The real job takes over. So I might do like a during the day, kind of probably a solo show at some point this week or next week, just kind of talking about Drummondville. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
I love how I can talk for like an hour and 15 minutes about absolutely nothing. Like you wouldn't say, like, what's our topic? I was like, well, we'll wing it.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I was like, you know what? Those are my favorite, though.
Oh, it is. It's yeah. So before we leave, we've got under, where's it? Right, I almost feel like I gotta stretch my arm way over. Got East Coast Cornhole. Remember, I'm at 1,450 followers right now. Could be more if you're new and you haven't followed yet. We want to get to 1,500. We'll give away a down and back East Coast Cornhole collab jersey like this, but Peter Puffin is not on it. It is the down and back logo in the middle. There right now there's only 3 of them. She has one, Steve Pohl has one, and I have one. And you can have one if you become one of the 1,500 followers. We'll do a contest of followers. We'll get there first, then we'll talk about it. If we get to 1,600, we'll give away 2 jerseys. Then JC Cornhole down below, Jamie Cowan. Coming up, we're going to be doing a hangout live on location at JC Cornhole. Now they got the 2 headsets. I can do a live on location with him because then I can mute him and I can just shut him right up. And then over on the far side, underneath Michelle, we got Sierra Property Inspections. If you're in Alberta, Wayne, listening up. Edmonton area, Sherwood Park to be exact. He'll even travel. Talk to Darren at Sierra Property Inspections. He will go and inspect your home, give your home a great once over, letting you know where the perfect place to keep your cornhole boards are. Great. And as always, a portion of what you pay goes to a children's cancer hospice in the Edmonton area. So that is, even if you don't really need to have your house inspected, you just want to do it for that reason. And Darren will not steer you wrong. And then also way over there, Titan Bags, Titan. I forget the website. Check them out on Facebook, Titan Bags. Sorry, Brendan. Candy's gonna kill me. Anyway, check out Titan Bags. Get yourself there. I don't have a code yet, but I've heard you can use code Barrett and get like some percentage off.
Who's this Barrett guy?
I don't know, some drunk guy that's been playing all day. And then, of course, in the middle, we've got Winging It. You want to go to your local Winging It? They got a new menu. I seen the one. It was like nachos with like onion rings and looked really good. So you got to go check out Winging It. Winging It restaurants. Check out their new menu at a place near you. Almost an hour 20. We're gonna wait. Do I talk another 2-3 minutes, or we'll just go? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Again, thank you all for the support over the last couple of weeks. Mom is home and still talking. Told her not to. She's like, my throat's sore. I was like, yeah, because you had a ventilator in for a week and a half, and when they took it out, you were not supposed to talk, but you just kept talking. I almost put the ventilator back in, but yeah. So yeah. Again, thank you all for that there. Thank you all for the support. And let's get the followers up to 1,500, 1,600, and we'll give some stuff away. Okay? See you all. Like I said, we'll do a during the day show at some point this week coming up because I'll be working evenings because I have a real job. I need just a cornhole job. I don't have to work a real job.
Wouldn't that be great?
Cornhole, but if cornhole job, if it's a job, it's still going to be a real job. But see you all next time, Mitch. Thank you for coming in to take over for the voiceless person of Cornwall.
You're welcome, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Say that because I can shit on him because he's not here.
He's now a mute.
He's a mute. Yes,
he's mute.
Very much a mute. And getting ready to become part of Lower Canada. That's all. So yeah. So see you all next time I am on. And you get new people out, let them have fun. Make cornhole fun again.
Yes.
How about we'll say that? And yeah. So we will see you all next time. And just like I said, just have fun and be nice to people. See you all later.
Good night.